Hi guys, Chris Graham here for We Love Betting, and it's horse racing that I'm going to be talking about for the next 5 minutes or so. You might say, what do you know about horse racing, Chris? Well, I've followed it for 12, 13 years. I had a letter published in the Racing Post. I still read the Racing Post every day. I just talk about Polish football a lot on this channel, but I do know a lot about, well, a reasonable amount about horse racing, I'd like to think. So I'll share some of my views with you for the upcoming Cheltenham Festival, of course, which starts tomorrow. I'm going to try and do a video every day. So tonight, I'm just looking at Tuesday's races, and I'm not here to look. I don't have the time, to be quite honest, to look through every single race and give you my opinion. So I've just looked at them and just picked out 3 horses that I'll be backing tomorrow, definitely. 2 in the same race, and that's the first race of the festival. It's called the Supreme Novices Hurdle. 1:30 live on Channel 4. I like 2 horses in this, and they're both big prices. That's why I've put up 2. I'll start with the first one, Dodging Bullets. It's 12 to 1 at the moment as I speak. Why do I like this horse? Well, it run quite well. First I should say that I love horses that run well at Cheltenham before. For me, that's an absolutely key thing. If you know this horse likes Cheltenham, it's a massive tick in the box for me. So Dodging Bullets was 4th in a race at the festival last year called the Triumph Hurdle, which is for juveniles, up and coming horses. Did really well there, finishing 4th in that race. He began this season with a win at Cheltenham in a decent hurdle race, a race he should have won, and he did. He then stepped up to Grade 2 level in November again at Cheltenham, and he won that race. They pushed him up again to the top level, the top hurdle race in Britain over the Christmas period, called the Christmas Hurdle at Kempton. And he finished 3rd that day, which was very, very respectable, because he's up against the elite to finish 3rd to a horse called Darlan. But in the process, he beat Countrywide Flame, who beat him in that race at Cheltenham last year, and he beat Cinders and Ashes, who won this particular race last year. So he beat some really good horses to finish 3rd in the Christmas Hurdle. And it was also in heavy ground, which I think which he'll experience tomorrow as well. So we know he likes heavy ground, we know he likes Cheltenham. I like that. He's trained by Paul Nicholls, who for me is still a top trainer in jump racing. Paul Nicholls has won this particular race, the Supreme Novices, twice, 2006 and 2011. Nolan and Alferov for the horses. And I think at 12 to 1, I think he's a value bet. I would have him about 7, 8 to 1. Of course, the favourite looks. We'll talk about the favourite in a minute, but I think 12 to 1 is a good shout. The next one is 40 to 1. So don't complain to me if it doesn't win or finishes in the frame. I should say both these bets are each way, so make sure you back it each way if you want to unbelievably follow my advice. But Cause of Causes is the second horse I'll be backing tomorrow each way. It was 3rd at Cheltenham at the start of the season in a race called the Racing Post Hurdle. Used to be called the Greatwood Hurdle, a trial for the Champion Hurdle, that race. And the horses that do well in that tend to have good seasons. We saw some really good horses win that race and then do well come the festival time in March. I'm thinking about like a Rooster Booster, Detroit City as well. So if you're in the mix in that race in November, you're a decent horse come March, and that's been the case for me. He was 12 to 1 that day when he finished 3rd. He then ran in a very, very competitive handicap race at Christmas time at Ascot. Really hard race. 21 runners in this race on heavy going, same as what you should experience tomorrow. And you need to be a tough horse to compete in that. And he won it. It's called the Ladbroke Hurdle. It's a very well respected race, and he won that. Huge respect to him for winning that. He then started off the new year winning again at Navan in a much easier race, but had a disaster in his last race at Newbury, if we're honest. He flopped that day, finishing well down the field. But he was he was carrying a very heavy weight that day in that particular handicap. So of course there's some negatives there, but for me there's plus points there as well. And when a horse is 40 to 1, you might as well get involved. So I think it's a far too big price for Cause of Causes. We know he likes big fields like he'll experience tomorrow. We know he likes Cheltenham, finished 3rd in that race. So for me, I think 40 to 1 is much too big. The favourite, of course, is called My 10 or Yours. Everyone's talking about that horse. It could be the next superstar, absolutely. But I've seen a lot of good horses in this race with massive reputations get their reputation squashed big time. Sweet Wake in 2006, Dunguib in 2010. So for me, My 10 or Yours could win easily tomorrow. Part of me hopes he does, because it'd be great for the sport, but I've saw this before, horses with great reputations and getting beat, so I'll avoid My 10 or Yours and I'll take them on with those two. The big race tomorrow is the 320, the Champion Hurdle, and I'm going for Zarkandar in that race, the second favourite, 4-1 at the moment, very fair price. Zarkandar won the Triumph Hurdle 2 years ago at the Cheltenham Festival, the best race, it's the top race for juveniles. He won that really well. He got injured at the start of the next season, last season, got injured there, so he didn't get a run out until February last year. And he won his first race back, the Betfair Hurdle, very, very competitive hurdle at Newbury. But he was 5th in the Champion Hurdle. A couple of reasons for that, really. I think the race probably came too soon for him after that long injury, long layoff. And he was only 5 at the time, just a 5-year-old, a wee baby. And 5-year-olds have a terrible record in the Champion Hurdle. It's just a bit too soon for them. So that's why he finished 5th last year, I would say. He's ran 3 times this season and he's won 3 times this season, and not many horses can say that in this particular division. And he won at Cheltenham as well at Christmas time, where he beat Grande and Rock on Ruby, who's the defending champion, and the key competitors will be up against tomorrow. Hurricane Fly, of course, is a favourite. He's been winning his races easily this season in Ireland, but really quite uncompetitive races. A couple of strong, I'm a stats man as you know, hopefully, a couple of strong reasons why I would oppose him. No 9-year-old has won this race since 2003, 10 years ago, and no horse has won the race, then lost it, and got it back since 1975. So I'm touching Hurricane Fly, no way. For me, Zarkandar fits the bill, 4-1 you can get him at the moment. So my 3 bets tomorrow: the 130 I'm backing each way, Dodging Bullets at 12-1, Cause of Causes at 40-1, and the 320 Champion Hurdle to win, Zarkandar at 4-1. Best of luck.